What's going on, guys? Today we're going to be talking about a pretty important topic, for me at least, and it's the reason why I finally stopped playing Call of Duty. And I hope that by making this video and putting it out on the internet, there's some other people who can kind of vibe with the way that I'm thinking and why I've stopped purchasing the new games, and hopefully have some closure in their lives, because it's helped me a lot. It's helped me stop playing a game that I don't enjoy, and it allows me to basically branch out and try other games and be more open about other games. So to start off, I am a Modern Warfare 2 baby. That was my first Call of Duty game, and to this day I will argue that Modern Warfare 2 is the best Call of Duty of all time. It is only about 1 or 2 patches away from being the perfect pinnacle godhood game of Call of Duty. It could be the Call of Duty game. But because of all of the legal action between Activision and Infinity Ward, a lot of the patches were delayed and ultimately canceled. So that's where I'm kind of at with the franchise. I do really like Modern Warfare 2, and Modern Warfare 2 was one of those highs that I was never able to relive until Modern Warfare came out. So what led me to quit Call of Duty? I think that's the big question that needs to be answered here. I'm sure all of you know about all the different controversies and all the shitty Call of Duty games that have come out, like Ghosts. Some people would argue Advanced Warfare. Some people would argue Infinite Warfare. There's a lot of games in the franchise that have been really bad, and I'm not going to dog on any individual games except for 2. And those 2 games are Modern Warfare and Black Ops Cold War. Those were the 2 games, after over a decade of playing Call of Duty, those are the 2 games that actually made me quit. So here's the story. When Modern Warfare was announced, I was absolutely ecstatic. This is exactly what I was asking for in a game for all of these years since Modern Warfare 2 came out. And it was the direct sequel to Modern Warfare 2 that I wanted personally. I wasn't a big fan of Modern Warfare 3. I feel like the game was kind of rushed. I felt like it just didn't complete the full circle of the Modern Warfare franchise. And I feel that Modern Warfare was able to fix that hole that I had in the franchise, as well to build on top of the things that Modern Warfare 2 did right and make a great game out of it. And overall, I feel that Modern Warfare was just a complete package. If you choose to ignore Spec Ops, the game actually has a lot of great features. It has a very good campaign, it has a very good multiplayer, and it has Warzone included with it, which was actually really good when it came out. And that was before all of the cheaters came in and before all the gun metas were really big. The package was great at the time, and the content coming out was amazing. Modern Warfare is actually like one of the few Call of Duty games that I could actually justify the over $200 I've probably spent in microtransactions, because I can actually purchase what I want and I can wear it whenever I want, and I like that. I like that they took the Fortnite card and basically said, you know what, here's a bunch of microtransactions. If you like them, buy them. If you don't, it doesn't matter. And I thought for the most part, when the game came out, the Battle Pass was actually a really great idea for the Call of Duty franchise. And it was really great for Modern Warfare. There was some very great content that came out of it. And we'll talk a little bit more about the Battle Pass later, but these were the kind of key things that I was looking for in Modern Warfare. And I think the thing that took it above and beyond was the introduction of the new version of Ground War. Essentially, when Modern Warfare came out, everybody was talking about how Modern Warfare was going after Battlefield. And I couldn't tell you how happy I was that Ground War had come to Call of Duty, and in that kind of capacity. And it basically made the game for me. When I played that Ground War mode for the first time in beta, I knew that this game was going to be for me, and I knew that this was the Call of Duty that was going to be that new pinnacle. I had finally got to that high that Modern Warfare 2 gave me once again. And just like most stories, when you have something great, sometimes you stick with it long enough to see it become the villain. And based on my past history with Call of Duty, I was the kind of person who would buy the game in November, and I'd probably play the game all the way up until March, and by that time the hype kind of fizzled out. And that has also helped me in a sense, because I was not there when all of those Call of Duties began to decline, when the updates started getting worse, when a lot of the rebalancing was happening, as well too when a lot of the extra content was being added to the game as well too. A lot of Call of Duties in the last 10 years have had some very poor post-launch support. So a lot of us, right after the holiday season, going into usually Q2 of the year after the launch, we usually hop off the game and don't play it after that until the next one comes out. Interestingly enough, with the way that Modern Warfare's content drops were happening, they actually gave us a reason to play Modern Warfare year-round. And that was really exciting for me, because we had cross-console, we had these huge population of players, and me being a PC player who's not used to having cross-console, and we're constantly having low player bases on PC, and the majority of the people that play Call of Duty on PC, who play for extended periods of time or play later in the post-launch cycle, tend to be a lot better at the game. And even now, as I'm making this video and I recorded the gameplay for this video, I found that for the most part, a lot of the games are pretty even. Some games I'm playing with people who are absolutely bad at the game, and the other games I'm playing with people who are so much better than me that I might as well not even try anymore. So, Modern Warfare was great and all, and it was really nice, and the pandemic happened after that, and we had this very confusing time in the Call of Duty community where we weren't sure if we were going to get a Call of Duty game this year, and when the Q2 investor call happened in 2020, for Activision, they made it very clear that there was going to be a Call of Duty still launching in 2020. And eventually we would learn that that game was Black Ops Cold War. And it was shortly after the announcement of Black Ops Cold War that we really began to see the reason for why I began to lose interest in Call of Duty. You see, I still really enjoyed Modern Warfare, and at that point I had decided I had no intentions of leaving Modern Warfare at that point. And I was still going to support the franchise, and I was still going to buy Black Ops Cold War, but I saw myself after the first couple of months of Black Ops Cold War returning to Modern Warfare. Now, leading up to Black Ops Cold War's release, we actually had a bunch of in-game promotions happening inside of Modern Warfare, specifically for Warzone. And we noticed that the number of advertisements for Warzone and for Black Ops Cold War were actually starting to take over a lot of Modern Warfare's menu. And this ultimately led to, when the game launching, Call of Duty Modern Warfare being rebranded in the Battle.net launcher as Call of Duty Warzone Modern Warfare. And effectively, when Black Ops Cold War launched, Activision was essentially trying to hide Modern Warfare. And if you were attempting to launch Modern Warfare, it just appeared like it was Warzone. And in the Warzone section, they had a suggestion of an upgrade available, and if you clicked that upgrade for Warzone, it was Black Ops Cold War. So effectively, overnight, Activision basically said, you know what, Modern Warfare doesn't exist anymore. And the game's support went full cold turkey after that. Now, we did receive some post-launch support following Black Ops Cold War's launch, but it was just really awkward at the end of the day. I thought it was very weird that the CX-9 and the pistol that was launched right before it were in the game months before they were added to Warzone and Modern Warfare's multiplayer, and they were usable in the Spec Ops mode that was available for every other console other than PS4 and PS5 after the launch of Black Ops Cold War. And it rubbed me the wrong way that there was data mines of different maps and other content and other Warzone events and other Modern Warfare maps that were supposed to be added to the game, but it appears like that content has been cut because it looks like it's going to be added to Modern Warfare 2, I guess. Getting back on topic though, ultimately, all of this kind of rubbed me the wrong way as a Modern Warfare player, and I think what really hurt it the most was when they did the UI overhaul for Black Ops Cold War in Season 1 of their Battle Pass. They changed the way the loading screens worked so that they advertised the new Battle Pass. They were advertising the new Battle Pass on the splash art for when you launched the game. And ultimately, the game just felt like there was no resemblance of Modern Warfare in the game at all unless you directly went into Modern Warfare's section of the game. At this point, it felt like Activision had completely removed Modern Warfare from the game at this point, even though it takes up a significant chunk of Warzone's game files. Now, I would be happy and I would keep my mouth shut if there were a few things that Activision would still do for Modern Warfare. For example, why are we not seeing a rehash of all of the battle passes? Why is it that every battle pass that I chose to skip, I can no longer do because they don't redo them every year? Why is it that right now, we're about to have Season 5 come out in Black Ops Cold War, why is Modern Warfare not having its Season 5 Battle Pass reintroduced into the game? It confuses me that there's all of this content that's in Modern Warfare that I cannot touch or cannot use because it's either been pushed to the next game, it's locked behind a Battle Pass that may never come back, or it's sitting there in the incubator waiting for Activision to release it because Black Ops Cold War doesn't have any content. And I think this is the time where we need to kind of talk about Black Ops Cold War at this point. When Black Ops Cold War was in beta, I was playing it a lot and I felt almost disheartened by it. You know, when I opened up the Battle.net launcher and I saw that Call of Duty Warzone Modern Warfare had an upgrade available, I was almost like, wow, cool. A brand new Call of Duty game. It's Black Ops Cold War. Hopefully it's better than Modern Warfare or just as great. And the reality was, and as some of you may know, that was not the case for Black Ops Cold War. It launched in a very incomplete state. And some of you may argue, oh, you know, the pandemic was happening, development was behind, a lot of people had to work at home. And the reality of the situation was the game didn't have to release in that state. Now, it's hard to make this argument because today, in Season 5 coming out right around the corner, the game has over 20 maps in the game. The single player is really good, Zombies has multiple maps now, and the Warzone content is just funneling in every season. So what's the problem here? The problem at the end of the day is the principle. By the time Black Ops Cold War receives all of its content updates, by the time it becomes the game that it was supposed to be at launch, which you could argue it is now, we're only months away from the next announcement of, which is rumored to be, Call of Duty Vanguard. And I'm afraid that this cycle is going to begin again for not only Black Ops Cold War, but also Modern Warfare. They're going to make Black Ops Cold War disappear, just like Modern Warfare, and everything is just going to become the Modern Warfare multiplayer, the Warzone system, as well as Black Ops Cold War's multiplayer, and maybe even the Zombies mode, is going to become an advertising tool for the next Call of Duty game. And like I said earlier, sometimes we live long enough and stay with a product long enough to see it become a villain. I'm also a World of Warcraft player, and it's ironic because World of Warcraft is actually owned by the same company and they have this same problem. In the tech world, we use horizontal and vertical development to describe how things are designed. And vertical development is when you do everything in one straight line and that's it, you get it done. You just do it all in one fell swoop and you're done. Horizontal is when you work on multiple things at the same time and you come to the complete product and combine it at the end. Now, the kind of analogy I want to use for World of Warcraft and Call of Duty is they have a very horizontal design. And what I mean by that is that there are multiple games in development. The difference between your standard horizontal development and why I call it the Activision development or Activision horizontal development is that when the product on the right side is complete and ready to be revealed, the product on the left side becomes a marketing tool after that. It is no longer a game. Modern Warfare is no longer a game. It is a marketing tool for Black Ops Cold War. And the support for the game is just going to continue to dwindle. The content behind the battle passes is going to stay hidden as long as they don't reintroduce them. And ultimately, the game is just going to fizzle out because the game is not worth anything to Activision anymore. You can't justify purchasing a game every year, and I've been purchasing every Call of Duty game since Modern Warfare 2, hoping that someday one of these developers would hit gold again. And they did with Modern Warfare for me. Modern Warfare was when they hit gold for me again. And I was so excited. I truly, truly was. But what I learned when Black Ops Cold War came out is that even if Infinity Ward, Treyarch, Sledgehammer, Raven, or any other subsidiary of Activision creates a Call of Duty game that is the best of the best, that is the gold standard for the series, it will release with the current post-launch support as an incomplete game that will be fixed over time. And when the game is finally complete and spreads its wings, the game is no longer considered a game to Activision. At that point, it's considered a marketing tool, and the game basically will fizzle out from there. Now, this doesn't mean that I can't just boot up Modern Warfare right now and play it, but at the end of the day, I just don't feel great playing the game. It sucks that a lot of the population of the game is just gone because Black Ops Cold War is out, and the marketing has convinced them that Black Ops Cold War is the new standard. And this is a very controversial opinion, but I feel that I'm justified in being able to state my opinion here, that Black Ops Cold War is just not a good game. It's not. And I feel that Activision has the audacity to say that Black Ops Cold War is an upgrade from Modern Warfare in the Battle.net launcher. It's almost an absolute lie. It's false advertising, because even now the game still feels incomplete. The zombies mode leaves everybody wanting more. It's super easy. These Easter eggs are absolutely nothing. The maps are coming out at a snail's pace. We waited almost 5 seasons to almost have a launch ready map count for the game. Alright, Combined Arms still does not even hold a candle to Ground War at the end of the day. And ultimately, we lost Modern Warfare into the void of Warzone for Black Ops Cold War. For that, we finally got a complete game that was a gold standard for the franchise, and we lost it for Black Ops Cold War. And I feel that Vanguard is not going to be the success that Activision thinks it is. In their Q2 call, they say that it's going to take place in a setting that's a fan favorite, and the response is going to be good. I'm curious to see when Vanguard's trailer drops, and if it's actually World War II, and see how the community responds to it, especially with Battlefield 2044 on the horizon. So that's the reason why I quit Call of Duty at the end of the day. It sucks that Warzone has basically turned Modern Warfare into not only a Warzone advertising machine, but it's also turned Modern Warfare into a marketing tool for premium Call of Duty games. And that is just how Call of Duty is going to be for the rest of the time that the franchise is alive. And I don't want to be a part of that marketing cycle anymore. I don't want my $60 to eventually be converted from a game into a marketing tool. And I know, like I said, that if they ever hit gold again, I will be a fan of that game long enough to see it become evil. I will see it become that marketing tool. And I refuse to do that anymore. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace.